Guys, this is a very special movie for me right now. No other movie this year that came out made me bawling my eyes out like this movie did. It is very emotional. Let's start with the quick plot synopsis first. There's a robot that has to be delivered to someone, but somehow it got stuck on this jungle, and now he befriends this fox and also has to be the mother of a gosling. And this gosling has very small feathers and it's born with this defect, so this will make it hard for it to fly, and he has to provide for this gosling as well as make sure it flies before the fall, because if he doesn't, it's gonna freeze. He needs to get out of there for migration. It needs to feed him, it needs to teach him how to swim, and it also needs to make sure he flies by fall. So there's a lot of great things going on here. Let's start with the positives. Let's talk about the story. The story here is very emotional. It is amazing. There was, as I said earlier, I was crying in the theater. It was just amazing. And it wasn't just me, it was also other people in the theater along with me. I can hear him sniffing, so I know he was crying behind me, and even across to the other side of the theater. So it is a very emotional movie for everyone, a must watch. I think this might just be the best animated movie of the year. Sorry Inside Out 2, but Disney lost to DreamWorks. It delves into many topics, like I said earlier. Parenting is one of them, but also growing, seeing your child grow, and he wants to become his own, and he wants to, especially when you know that your parents is not your parents and you want to join your own group, you want to be your own person. Things like doing things for the right things, and friendship too, making friends. Even though they hate you, you still go on to help them. It really makes you care for the robots. You know, it's funny, nowadays so many Hollywood movies, you don't really care about the protagonist even though they are people, but when it came to this movie, you actually care about the robot. By right, it shouldn't happen, but you care about this robot. You love this robot. There's a lot of Iron Giant references and inspirations in this movie, and I thought it was just fabulous. And it's not just the robot you care about. You care about the fox, you care about the goose, and I think there are a lot of morals and good messages for young children as well as for an older audience in this movie, as this movie feels a bit more mature than your average animated movie. So there's another good thing about it. So there's a wider age group of people that can relate to the message of the moral of the story. Let's talk about the animation. I think the animation is astounding here. It is beautiful. First and foremost, the atmosphere that this movie creates with the gorgeous animation is just incredible. Luxuriant forest with all the green trees and all that, or whether be it with the movement animation of the animals and all that, or it could even be the fire or even the flying scenes. It is just so eye-popping and visual. I love it. Now this movie did go and try to talk about the future and how the future would be with the growing use of AI. It did try and go into that, I can see that, but it didn't go so deep into it, and I think that was intentional, and that was a good move, because too many ideas in a movie can make it very messy. So it's a good thing they kept to a minimum, and really it's just amazing. Like, it is so emotionally amazing. Who knew I could care more about a robot and the goose than almost any other main character that I've seen recently? And the relationship between this robot and this Gosling, no, not Ryan Gosling, I meant this Gosling that he takes care of, is just the heart and soul of this movie, and it's just beautiful to watch. Whether be they're separated or they're together, it's just really, really beautiful to watch, because there's something that we can all relate to it. The parents, the mother and son kind of relationship, the parent and child kind of relationship going on there is just so relatable, so beautiful, and just so tear-jerking. Like, bring tissue papers to the theaters if you must. It is really an emotional movie and really, really well done. And the voice acting is just really great. I can't think of any other comps. If I must think of any drawbacks, you're probably the villain. I guess I won't give too much away, but I don't think that villain is actually a villain. I think this movie is more like How to Train Your Dragon, where there's actually no villain in the movie. Same with Top Gun Maverick, there's actually no villain in the movie. This movie did try and have a villain, especially coming closer to the end of the movie, and that's the only time we saw that villain clearly. And it did try and portray that person as a villain, but I don't see it that way. I just think it's like a roadblock in the way of the protagonist. It's like a struggle in the way of the protagonist. It's just something very, very special, and I wish more movies like this would come out now. I think we are deprived of these kind of movies. We need more of these movies in theaters, and I think these are the kind of movies that deserve to be earning more money in the theaters, because I'm worried about the box office for this movie. In my theater, there weren't many people at all, and so this makes me really worried. I hope this movie makes enough money and sends the right signal to producers in Hollywood studios that this is the kind of movies people want to see more, and this is the kind of movies you need to make more. Yeah, and that's about it. I think this is a perfect movie that came out this year. Hopefully it doesn't turn out like Furiosa did. Other than that, I think it's a perfect movie. like a solid 10 out of 10. What else can I say? This is, as I said earlier, the best animated movie of the year. Sorry Disney, sorry Inside Out 2, but this is the animated movie of the year for me right now. And I'm not sure what other animated movies are coming out later this year, but I don't see any other movies dethroning it for right now. And it might just be my personal movie of the year. Unless I rewatch Dune Part 2 and like it more again, we will never know, we will see. But I absolutely enjoyed this movie. Like, it has so many emotions to it. I never cried in theatre in a long time more than this. Thank you DreamWorks for making this movie. And yeah, see you guys next time. You guys are always the best. If you like this video, click the like button. If you want to see more, subscribe to my channel.